The 6-year sentencing of Nigerian-born Finnish citizen Simon Ekpa by a Finnish court for terrorism-related activities. The federal government, through the Minister of Information, had hailed the verdict as a major victory for the Nigerian police or for the Nigerian people in the collective fight against terror. Now, the Igbo social-cultural organization, Ohanaeze Ndị Igbo, on Wednesday applauded the federal government for Ekpa's incarceration. In a statement by the deputy president of the group, the development underscores the Igbo people's resolute opposition to armed struggle under the guise of Biafra agitation. The group stated that they unequivocally condemn terrorism in all its forms and reject any deviation from non-violent self-determination principles, adding that the Igbo nation stands united for peace and constructive dialogue. I mean, this group have stated that, Ekpa's arrest will mitigate insecurity in the southeast. They commended the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, for their efforts in fighting terror in the region. The Finnish court found Ekpa guilty of using his social media to urge his followers to commit crimes. He was also found guilty of supplying groups with weapons and explosives while also promoting violence on the ground in Nigeria from where he was in Finland. I'd like to take some reactions to that comment from the Igbo social cultural group Ohanaeze Ndị Igbo. This person, Naji, wrote on X that this is not a federal government of Nigeria case. It's between Finland and Simon Ekpa. No one needs to commend Nigeria government for it. I completely disagree with that tweet. Well, Araba described the deputy president as fraudulent. He wrote, "How can this fraudulent person claim to be speaking for the Ohanaeze with no challenge? Which government or which federal government did that? Why did they allow the guy to wreak havoc in the southeast before going after him? Is it not shameful that this case concluded speedily," which is a huge conversation, while the other one in Nigeria moves like snail? Your thoughts on those comments? I mean,
okay.
What are you...
So, terror has no place in society. And anybody that supports and condemns and condones terror, like Simon Ekpa did, I totally condemn them. Because I feel terror is not the solution to the problems of the Southeast. Are there cases of marginalization against the Southeast? Yes, like we always say, the Civil War never ended. Honestly, and it's true. Because after Gowon declared no victor, no vanquish, there's still a lot that needs to be done for the Southeast that has not been done. I will still see this clear marginalization. And it's this marginalization that makes people like Simon Ekpa have a voice in the first place. At some point, it was Ralph Wazirike, Nnamdi Kanu, all of them. The common thread is marginalization, which I think the government should fix. And that's why I said the first process in doing that is settling the Nnamdi Kanu case. And so that we start restoring sanity to the Southeast region, because if we restore it, then development will come. But I totally condemn everything Simon Ekpa did do at that point in time. But I think, and I disagree with that too, like you said, the federal government has to be commended, because the federal government did make overtures. But Finland did say, okay, yes, we are, we're a sovereign nation, we're going to deal with this. And IPOB also did go against, some, Ekpa, a lot. And in fact, they did come out openly to pronounce that they're not in support of what he was doing. So that's settled. I think another case I would like to talk about is this. You see, the kind of democracy we run in Nigeria is a hypocritical democracy. It's a demonstration of grace. And Dr. Bali, you made a valid point that in the Constitution, yes, the police, the Nigerian police force, which says we all take, instruction from the commander-in-chief, that only applies when the Governor Institute is not aligned with the federal government. We have also seen police in the states being used, and federal police in the state being used to be able to go against oppositions of governors. In that same state, when they are doing it, the state governor is in charge. You know why? Because it's probably alignment with the central government then. But when it comes to cases of insecurity in the states, and is not probably aligned with the central government, then he starts to cry. because that time the central government will not give him all the support he gets. So I think also the case of the politicization of the central government in the case of insecurity is the big problem. Coming back to what Dauda was saying, and I think this is the thread with what Dauda was saying. When we hear about case of banditry in Zamfara states, we don't see the big response by the state, by the federal government security forces there. But recently there was an election, 5 polling units. You needed to see how they deployed brigades and brigades. In fact, they summoned up military forces from Gombe and neighboring states just to be able to oversee 5 polling units because the APC was involved in that election and they finally did win the election to prove a political point. Right. So another part in all of this conversation about state police is going to be the eventual politicization of the apparatchik of security in those states. And that's why Dauda is saying that, yes, I should be able to sort this out. But the question is, we also know what is going on in these states. The politicization, because in one breath, you want to go ahead and flush the bandits.
Yeah.
The bandits are also valuable during election period.
What are the solutions? What are the solutions?
Number one solution will be this.
Just a few seconds.
Have a state police that is totally independent. And in fact, even having a state police is overflowed because there is almost no states. Most of the states in this country and most of the regions have some sort of architecture of state police. In the southeast, there's a Bubeagu.
Yeah, but their remits are limited.
Their remits are limited. No, the only difference is, what's it called? Amoteku carries weapons, but they don't carry high-grade weapons like an AK-47. But they do intelligence gathering work and they work with the police. There's Shege Kafasa, there's all of that. So that model you have been using, continue to use it.
So you prefer to have the vigilante groups and the federal structure that we already have in place? Is that what you prefer?
No.
Because you're talking about Ebubagu and all of those.
There are still state vigilante units that are different from the likes of Amoteku and Ebubagu.
No, I think that the state police, the idea of the state police is for them to have the full might and the full support to be able to govern their state. Some of these vigilantes, they go around with useless weapons. They don't have. Yes, we saw things that happen in. What is it?
Yes. That's what we are saying.
So I mean, that's the conversation. Is that what you're saying?
No, listen.
What's your conversation?
Please take our time to hear me.
Yes,
please.
quickly.
You have those vigilante units that are spread across the country. In fact, there's a National Vigilante Association.
Yeah.
That's separate. Then you have things like Amoteku.
Yeah, we know that.
Amoteku, hope you know, is being led by a retired military officer, which they bring some structure and training into it. What I'm saying is those hitherto structures you have, amplify it, give them more oversight to be able to carry bigger weapons, and then go ahead and do the constitutional reform. But you must also put modalities and stopgaps in place that in a case where these people try to politicize and they become agents of the governor against their political adversaries, you will be able to step in. Because that's the grounds a lot of people have against the state police officer. But the structures are there. Governor Dauda has a cadet unit in Zamfara. The other day, we showed on TV when Benue launched their own. Almost everybody have their own.
All right.
But it's just out to... Lagos even has a neighborhood watch of some sort.
Okay.
We'll take another story now.
Let me just say, the leading, most visible authority on state police in Nigeria at the moment, there are other scholars on this subject, but the leading authority is Professor Kemi Rotimi of the Department of History, Obafemi Awolowo University. He has written a book, The Police in a Federal State, the Nigerian Experience. I hope we'll get an opportunity to engage with him at some point. His main conclusion is that state police is not new. We have had it before in this country, and it can work without necessarily being politicized.
Absolutely, well said.